So here's what I would do. I will be familiar with pages 1 through 4. That gives you background information. You already know that. For page 5, the main things that I would be mindful of, hint, be mindful of, is the eyepiece. You know the eyepiece is 10x. So page 5, you know the eyepiece is going to be 10x. You know the revolving nose piece, which you turn. You also know the different objectives, low, medium, and high power. You know what the stage is. I would know the difference between a coarse knob and a fine knob. Coarse knob and a fine knob. I would know the arm. I would know the base, and I would know the light knob, the intensifier. I keep it really basic. For page 8, you would definitely need to know this model here in terms of its parts and what each part does, and this one, because I put both of them on the test. You follow me? So I'm going to put this one on the test, and I might label the nucleus, and I might ask you a question about the nucleus. Or I may put this one on the test, and I may label this orange thing and say, okay, what does it generate? Which is ATP. I'm going to be very, it will be something that you're supposed to know already about both of these. It won't be nothing to trick you. So you know what an animal cell is, you know the parts of the animal cell, and you know the function of it. You follow me? I'm going to probably ask you 2 on here and 2 on here. All right? So which means that I'm going to ask you, okay, well, what is this organelle? And then I'm going to ask you, well, what does it do? What is its function? Does that make sense? After that, you're going to do cell division. You're going to be able to identify under the microscope the different stages. So that's where the review begins. And you're going to find this to be kind of key information. And I'm going to walk you through this and try to make this as easy as possible. Because I know for some students, they're like, okay, it's so much, what do you want me to know? I'm going to show you how this works. All right, now, under the microscope, I'm going to have different starfish. Now, there's two things I'm going to ask. These are the two main things I'm going to ask when we're dealing with mitosis. The first thing I'm going to ask you, what stage is this? So, Mr. Gilmore, tell me, how do I define what stage is this? This is what you're looking for. Let's say, for instance, I say under the pointer, I want you to define this stage. Mr. Gilmore, here's the catch. If you're asking me to define this, and I can see there's a well-delineated border, meaning that nuclear envelope is intact, I'm going to automatically say this is interphase, and I ain't going to even fight myself on it. The main thing I'm trying to find, does it have a well-delineated border? So, Mr. Gilmore, the perfect example of that is going to be this fellow right here. How so? All I'm looking for is a what? Nuclear envelope. That's what I'm looking for. But if I see one like this here, Mr. Gilmore, and I see genetic stuff, but that's all I can tell, and there's no border around it, I still see there's a collection of material right there, which is the genetic material, but I don't see no border around it, man, I ain't gonna even dispute it. I'm gonna say what? Prophase. Because the main difference between these two, and these are the two that give students the most trouble. The rest of them you can just about tell what they are. Because what am I looking for? A nuclear envelope, or whether or not it doesn't have a nuclear envelope. That's it. So, Mr. Gilmore, if I'm looking for that and I see something like this here under the microscope and it asks me, I see all the genetics here in the same area, but there is no delineated line around it. When I can't see no delineated line, I know this is prophase. You follow me? I'm not going to give you anything gray area. Now, Mr. Gilmore, if I see something that looks like this, I'm trying to go too fast. I'm trying to get where I need to go. And I see it looks like everything has lined up. If it looks like this, Mr. Gilmore, and I see the chromosomes are in a straight line, this is the one that everybody starts smiling at when they get to it. You can automatically tell that it has to be something very easy because everybody, when they get to that one, they go to smiling. When you see this little fella right here, and he say, oh, everything lined up in the midline, Mr. Gilmore, he's a dead giveaway. You follow me? Now, when you see somebody that looks like this, and all of a sudden you see, it looks like everything has been pulled or separated. When you see this, Mr. Gilmore, I'm looking at what? Anaphase. I know it's anaphase. Because what? The sister chromatin has been pulled to respective poles. When I see that, I start smiling again. Because he's a dead giveaway. And I ain't gotta sit up there and wrestle with it. I already know, Mr. Gilmore. He is anaphase. And then telophase, Mr. Gilmore, I'm going to be able to tell him. Because he's going to look like here's how I know telophase. If I can fold this over on, he's always a dead giveaway. If I can fold this one on this one, and they look like they're identical to each other, that's a dead giveaway. Also, let me show you something else that lets you know you're dealing with telophase. You see this right here? It'll look like there's lines in between the two cells. You follow me? When you see that, that's a dead giveaway. Everybody with it? When you see that, that's a dead giveaway. Because normally I'm going to have the arrow, and what I mean by arrow is there's a cute little on the ocular, there's a pointer in there. That's the arrow I'm referencing. You follow me? So that gives me all of my phases of mitosis. It's very easy. Very easy. Now, if that much is true, that gets us through our mitosis. Mitosis is easy. Don't overthink it. It's everything that we've talked about for the last 4 weeks. We with it? Now let's go here. This is where it starts getting fun when we start talking about histology. Let me tell y'all something. The number one thing we do as students, we convince ourselves that this is harder than what it is. Don't do that. We're going to simplify it. Well, how are you going to simplify it? I'm going to show you the easiest way to remember these slides. The first fella is areolar connective tissue. Now, here's the catch, Mr. Gilmore. I need you to show me what am I looking for in areolar connective tissue that makes it so easy, according to you. What is it that makes it so easy? Because it ain't that easy to do. So here's what you're looking for. If I was to make this simple, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some skinny lines. And after I find the skinny lines, I'm looking for the thick lines. Now, so what do you point out, Mr. Gilmore? The thin one is elastic. So that's the elastic fibers. The thick one is collagen, because he's the thick one. And then, Mr. Gilmore, I'm going to see dots. And the dots, even though it's more than one type of dot, for this class, you're going to just say fibroblasts. That's it. Don't overthink this. So, Mr. Gilmore, hold up. Before you even start going into this, I want you to tell me the 3 questions I can ask. There's the 3 questions I can ask on every tissue. Name this slide. Where is it found in structural location of the body? And what structures are at the end of the pointers? So do that again. Name this slide. Well, Mr. Gilmore, this is areolar connective tissue. Where is it found? That's the hypodermis. And then what structures at the end of the pointer? I ain't got but 3 I'm supposed to learn. One was elastin, the other one was collagen, and the third one was fibroblast. That's it. So, Mr. Gilmore, if I was to draw this, I would have one that's thin. The one that's thin is elastin. That's elastic fibers or elastin. The thick one is collagen. Because we remember collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. That's the one people injected in their lips, injected in their butts, injected in their breasts, because it makes things look fuller. Because he's thicker. And then we have these fibroblasts, which are the dots. So Mr. Gilmore, prove that to me. All of a sudden I see this hair-like fiber, like somebody took their hair and put it under the microscope. If he's thin, he's what? Elastic. But then I see this big thick one. I see this big thick one. Because he's thick, we're going to call him what? Collagen. And then there's these dots. Those are fibroblasts. I can't get this wrong. You can't trick me? No, because I ain't trying to trick you. You follow me? There's only 3 structures I need to be able to identify. What are they? Elastin, collagen, and fibroblasts. Where is this found? The hypodermis. Make sense? Name this tissue. Areolar connective tissue. It's that simple. Everybody with it? The next structure I'm supposed to learn is adipose. Now, here's the catch with adipose. Here's the catch. And I'm going to keep your ear erasing. Everybody go. Every time I'm going to wake you right back up and you try to fall asleep. Mr. Gilmore, what am I looking for when I'm dealing with adipose? Here's what I'm looking for. When I see adipose, I'm I'm gonna see several cells. And Mr. Gilmore, they kind of look like ice cubes, if you want to say that. But here's what I'm gonna notice. I'm gonna have this cell, but inside this cell, there's gonna be some stuff that I can't hardly see, but I can see. That's gonna be my what? My lipid droplet. But I noticed something about the lipid droplet. It puts pressure on the nucleus, and it pushes these nucleus towards the edge. So they're gonna be at the periphery. All of a sudden, I see these nucleus at the edge when I look at it under the microscope. So Mr. Gilmore, here's the catch. Name this slide. Adipose. Where is it found? Hypodermis. What structure's at the end of the pointer? Mr. Gilmore, if I'm pointing at this, that's the cell membrane, because that's the part on the outer margin. If I'm pointing here and the pointer is on the inside of this, and number one thing up in here, that's the what? Lipid droplet. But Mr. Gilmore, what about this little point right here? That's that focal point we refer to as the nucleus. Everybody with me? Now, you can see the term nucleus or nuclei. They mean the exact same thing. Well, Mr. Gilmore, I'm looking at the scalp for this. I understand that. But I want you to remember hypodermis. Scalp was just a slide. We can find adipose in several different slides. But I want you to remember hypodermis. Somebody at the door that can't get in or something? So, Mr. Gilmore, this is what? Adipose. Now, here's the catch. What if I ask you, what type of cell is this? Well, this is an adipocyte. They mean the exact same thing. You follow me? Everybody with it? Now, Mr. Gilmore, I need you to hook me up. Show this to me under the microscope, because I was having trouble finding this in class. And so I need you to hook me up and show it to me. Now, Mr. Gilmore, I know these are distorted, because you got to think about this. I want y'all to put this in your mind. Here it is, somebody took a three-dimensional figure and put it on a two-dimensional slide. So when they spread the specimen, things got distorted. So you got to hallucinate a little bit, but you ain't got to hallucinate much. Let's look at this fellow. Mr. Gilmore, what is this? This structure is my what? Cell membrane. Inside of here is my what? Lipid droplet. But then I see this focal point. That's my what? Nucleus. Y'all follow me? Don't make it this hard than what it has to be. This is a fat cell. Mr. Gilmore, I see several of them up here, but here's the catch. I may have a fat cell overlap with another fat cell. So when you see this right here, you're like, well, that's two nuclei together. It might be two fat cells stuck on top of each other. You follow me? I want y'all to get the basics. We ain't gonna make this harder than it has to be. So that gives me fat cells. We got that. And you know what? Believe it or not, this is probably the most trying or the most troublesome for students. Because guess what? You just got through studying bone, so that's fresh on your mind. This is the part that gives us a little trouble. Now, if that much is true, we start talking about cartilages. We noticed there was 3 cartilages, but you all only had to learn 1. So the cartilage we want to look at is hyaline cartilage. Where is it going to be found? The trachea. What structures you want us to know about hyaline cartilage? Y'all want to ride with that one or you want me to find you a better one? Y'all okay with it? Find you a better one. See what y'all looking. Y'all like, well, can't you do a little bit better? All right, so here's what we got. What we're dealing with when you start talking about Highland College. Highland College, Mr. Gilmore, is the most abundant college there is. So when we start looking at Highland College, first thing we're going to find Mr. Gilmore, what's those lines representing? That's the perichondrium. So this area right here that my fingers are going outline, that's my perichondrium. Mr. Gilmore, in the perichondrium is where the blood supply is. Everybody with me? Now, if that's the perichondrium, I'm noticing something about the perichondrium. There are some smaller little dots or circles located in and around the perichondrium. Why are those little dots there? Because, Mr. Gilmore, those little dots say I got to grow. And I need the blood supply in order for me to grow. Those little dots are called what? Because we in cartilage, that's the prefix chondro, but these little dots are going to grow and produce this matrix, so we're going to call those chondroblasts. So the chondroblasts are the smaller ones that's in the perichondrium and adjacent to it. Because those chondroblasts want to differentiate. They want to grow. Well, what are the chondroblasts going to become? They're going to become chondrocytes. So in here is my chondroblast. I need you to be very specific with me. Because I understand these are going to become the chondroblasts are going to differentiate to chondrocytes. But I need you to be real specific as to what's in that matrix up there. Well, you're going to look and see that those have a light and a dark cell. Well, Mr. Gilmore, you said this cute little structure, the light one, is the chondrocyte, and the dark one was the nucleus. But Mr. Gilmore, what are you going to call this entire structure? It's going to be called lacunae. You follow me? So this entire structure, I might as well go and take you there. Here's what I'm going to do. This area right here, Mr. Gilmore, this is my what? Perichondrium. And these little dots, Mr. Gilmore, those represent the chondroblasts. But the chondroblasts are going to differentiate and become something else up here. They're going to become what? Chondrocytes. But here's what I'm going to notice, Mr. Gilmore. As you go closer and go higher into this actual matrix, when you go up in here, these cute little cells, if I was to say, what is this? You're going to say, that's a lacunae. But if I ask you what's inside of there, that's when I started getting into some technical stuff. So, Mr. Gilmore, which I ain't going to do. But what if I ask you what's in here, Mr. Gilmore? Well, if I'm asking you what is the dark cell inside here, you're going to say nucleus. But if I ask you, well, what's the light one? What's the white cell that's up in here? You're going to say chondrocyte. You follow me? But we ain't trying to be all technical. I'm not trying to hurt your little grade.
Yeah.
Y'all follow me? But again, see, what's this right here? Perichondrium. What's this right here? Perichondrium. But then, Mr. Gilmore, what's the small cells that's located near and close to the perichondrium? Chondroblast. Same thing up here. Chondroblast. But when you get into this matrix, what is this cell? That's a lacunae. But what about the dark? That's the nucleus. What about the light one? Chondrocyte. You see the difference? Everybody with it? All right. So, Mr. Gilmore, this is hyaline cartilage. If that's hyaline cartilage, let's look at blood. Y'all don't know y'all know this, but you know this already. It just takes for us to refresh it. Because I promise you, you walk out here today, you should feel a whole lot better by this material. Now this is the one that most start smiling at when they see it. And again, you know my projector ain't that good, so I'm gonna have to apologize on behalf of the projection because it just ain't that good. Not for you to distinguish like what you need to distinguish while I teach it to you. So I'm gonna draw it first. So Mr. Gilmore, what am I looking at under the microscope? Great question. First thing I'm looking at is the fact that the most numerous cells up here, the ones that you mostly see are red blood cells, aka erythrocytes. That's what you're gonna be able to see on the test. Those are red blood cells. So if I ask you to tell me specifically what this cell is at the end of the pointer, I'm pointing this, you're gonna say erythrocyte, which is a red blood cell. But then I noticed there are some larger cells. And this is where it gets real technical. Mr. Gilmore, here's the catch. If I see a large cell and its nucleus almost takes up the entire cell, if I see this right here, the first thing I want to be able to tell you is that this is a white blood cell. Another word for white blood cell is what? A leukocyte. But Mr. Gilmore, by definition, if this nucleus almost takes up the entire cell, this is not only a white blood cell, but it's what we call this is called an agranulocyte. It's called an agranulocyte. Why? Because the nucleus almost takes up the entire cell. It's called what? Agranulocyte. Because we remember, the agranulocytes was lymphocytes and monocytes. I ain't got to be that technical for the test, but you got to remember, that's an agranulocyte. Because the nucleus almost takes up the entire cell. But when I look at the other white blood cell, and it looks like this. And then it has these little spots on it. So in the microscope, you can see all that. Well, Mr. Gilmore, first off, those dots are called granules. That's a giveaway. Secondly, it has what we call a 3 to 5 lobe nucleus. So this automatically is a granulocyte, which means white blood cell that has granules. And we know those granules are what? Lysosomes. We got that locked and loaded. We talked about that in lecture. But Mr. Gilmore, this fella has to be one of those field brothers. What does that mean? That means he has to be a basophil, an eosinophil, or a neutrophil. I don't have to know that, but I'm just giving you FYI. He's one of those fields. Basophils, eosinophils, or neutrophils. That's why we remember the acronym BAN. Now, Mr. Gilmore, can I tell him from him under the microscope? You can. How so? He has a very large nucleus, so he's a granulocyte. Even though he's a white blood cell, he's an agranulocyte. But when I look at this fella, he has a 3 to 5 lobe nucleus with those what? Granules. So he's a granulocyte. Everybody with me? Now the only other fella up here, Mr. Gilmore, that could possibly be is these little dots. Well, Mr. Gilmore, if he a little dot, we already know he only there to clot blood. So his name is what? Layman term platelet. So what you gonna call them though? A thrombocyte, because thrombo means to clot. That's the difference. Everybody with it? Okay, we got him. We straight on him. We got blood. I hate the fact that this is horrible. I told him, ain't no sense in me going over it. Next fella got to be compact bone. Let's look at compact bone. Now this is also one, when you see it under the microscope, you go to smile. Why? Because it's bullseye. Mr. Gilmore, I can't get this wrong. If I get this wrong, that means I ain't trying to do right. I ain't studied nothing. Ain't that right? You get this wrong, you ain't scared no study. They got you caught up at work, and that's where your mind is. I ain't ready to show them to you yet. Why are you ready? If I need to make sure you understand the fundamentals. It's important for us to understand the fundamentals. First thing I want to do, I got to think of this as a bullseye. So if I'm thinking of this as a bullseye, here's the centermost point. It's large. It's a large point in between all of these. That point is going to be called my central canal, aka my conversion canal. That's the bullseye. The central canal, aka conversion canal. But then I noticed something. I got these concentric rings that's going around this structure. What are these concentric rings, Mr. Gilmore? What's those rings? Those are lamellae. Lamellae. Good job. Lamellae. So I got these concentric rings that are called lamellae. But then I got these little squiggly little lines that's going against the lamellae. What's those squiggly lines called? Can I lick your eye? Can you lick your eye? Right? Everybody with it? If those are can you lick your eye, then what is this? This is where everybody started looking at me crazy. What's those little dots? Those are lacunae. Mr. Gilmore, hold up. I just saw you put lacunae, and you said that for what? Cartilage. But what's the precursor to bone? Cartilage. Bone was first cartilage before it was bone. Does that make sense? So now, Mr. Gilmore, I got these cute little old lacunae. But Mr. Gilmore, what if you do this and say, what cell is inside of this structure? Osteocytes. So, and I put that almost on every lab practice. Why you do that, Mr. Gilmore? You trying to trick me? I ain't trying to trick you. I'm trying to see if you paid attention in class. Believe it or not, I got 3 classes this semester, all in the same class. Follow me? That means I got 90-some students because I did overrides, right? I guarantee you, a third of my students ain't gonna get that right because they ain't paying attention. There's only one type of cell that can be inside of that lacunae because you're in bone. So the prefix is osteo. And then we know it's got to be a cell, so it's osteocyte, because that means bone cell. Everybody with it? But watch this right here. If I ask you, what is this entire structure? Just that structure. Let's call it what? An osteon. Another word for osteon is Haversian system. Everybody with it? So this is an osteon or Haversian system. Mr. Gilmore, I need you to give me one more. Well, what if I was to take this? connect these two. What is that structure?
Volkmann's canal.
There it is. That's a Volkmann's canal, aka perforating canal. Now watch this right here. Just by seeing that, watch how much easier this becomes. Mr. Gilmore, what is this structure? Central canal, aka what? Conversion canal. Because that's the bullseye. So Mr. Gilmore, what is this circle that's going around it? Lamella. But then I see some squiggly little lines. Caniculi. But then I see this little dot. So I ask you, what type of cell is inside? Osteocyte. But if I say, well, what is the structure? That's a lacuna. Y'all follow me? That, you got to read the question and it's going to tell you what the answer is. If I say, what is the structure? You're going to say lacuna. If I say, what type of cell is inside? You're going to say osteocyte. It's all about reading the question. Does that make sense? Now, here's what else I got. I want you to hallucinate with me. Here is one osteon. Here's another one that's kind of faded. But I see this line going in between the two. What is that line?
Volkmann's canal.
A Volkmann's canal. That lets me know I'm looking at a what? A Volkmann's canal. I know I'm stretching this out a little bit too long, but I'm trying to make sure y'all get it. Now we start looking at epithelium. These are the ones, see, we played with the easy ones. Now we gotta look at what? The more challenging ones. So when we look at the more challenging one, we start talking about epithelium. Remember, there's two things that names an epithelium. What are those two things? The layers, the number of layers, and the shape. The number of layers and the shape. So, Mr. Gilmore, when I look at the kidney slide, I'm gonna go faster, man, because I know y'all gotta go. Let's go. Let's see how good this is. Believe it or not, when I see this, I'm home free. How am I home free? When I see that I got this inside of a circle. We used to have this song, throw that thing in a circle. When I see that inside that circle, you ain't got to try to trick me, Mr. Gilmore. I'm straight now. Because when I see this, I got to go a little bit slower. Because I got to make sure y'all get this. This is a big miss on the test. And I got to compare this so you can see the two. This is the kidney slide. Here's what I got. I notice I got that structure, and then I got now, I'm going to compare that to this. One looks like a ball bearing or a pearl necklace. The other one has some kind of spaghetti noodle thing on the inside, but the cells going around it is flat. So here's what you're going to do. If I see this, I automatically think simple squamous epithelium. If I see this, I automatically think simple cuboidal epithelium. So, Mr. Gilmore, tell me, how did you come up with that? Because this structure here is by glomerulus. This one don't have a glomerulus. So if I see this, I already know this is simple squamous epithelium. How so? Because the Bowman's capsule only has one layer thick of cells. That's the Bowman's capsule, and that's what simple squamous epithelium is. But when I look here, there's nothing on the inside. But I see one layer thick of round cells. So since I see that, this is simple cuboidal epithelium, and this is found in the renal, which means kidney, tubule. So, Mr. Gilmore, this one is Bowman's capsule, and this one is renal tubule. Renal tubule could be proximal convoluted tubule, loopal tenderly, distal convoluted tubule, it could be any of those. But the bottom line is, one has a glomerulus, the other one doesn't. You follow me? Now here's what I got. You can see this, you just don't know you can see this, and I'm gonna push this over just a hair. And we'll try to line this up. Yeah. Mr. Gilmore, show me the comparison. If it has this, I automatically think simple squamous epithelium. Why so? If I look around the edge, I'm looking at the Bowman's capsule, and I know, Mr. Gilmore, there's only one cell thickness. So in terms of layers, there's only one layer of them, and they're flat cells. But when I compare it to this, even though it's distorted a little bit, I see these cells are going around what? Around it. Mr. Gilmore, any one of these are renal tubules because they don't have this. You follow me? But this one right here just looks prettier. So I can see one layer thickness of round cells. And that's what? Simple cuboidal epithelium. Mr. Gilmore, what are you going to try to tell me about this here? I'm going to see the same slide twice on the test. One time I'm going to be talking about what? Simple squamous epithelium. The other time I'll be talking about simple cuboidal epithelium. But it's the same slide. So if I say, where is this found? Kidney. So if I have at the corner, you got to tell me specifically. Mr. Gilmore, what is this? That's the glomerulus. Mr. Gilmore, what is this? This is the Bowman's capsule. Mr. Gilmore, what structure is this? This right here, and it's going to give me options. I wasn't going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you now. I've got options on some of the questions. You follow me? To try to help you. This is going to be a renal tubule. Mr. Gilmore, what epithelium is this? Simple cuboidal epithelium. Does that make sense? Now, the next fellow is usually kind of easy to get. Yeah, that's right. He's usually kind of easy to identify. I think of Beetlejuice. He's usually kind of easy to identify. This one is usually kind of easy to identify. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a section, and it's going to be like this here. Now here's what I'm going to notice. There's only one nucleus per cell, and they look like they in what? Columns. Look like the downtown skyscraper. Mr. Gilmore, when I see that in here, it's simple because it's one layer thick, but they're in columns. So this is simple columnar epithelium. Where is it found? Gallbladder. Real simple. That's the only thing we cover is simple columnar epithelium. Where is it found? Gallbladder. All right. And My sister beating that drum. Next fella, this is the one we made a lot of comparisons in class. And I'm gonna put both of them up there simultaneously to make sure everybody gets it. And most of y'all get it because I'm gonna make jokes about it. When I see this right here, I start smiling. How you start smiling? Because it's a dead giveaway. Mr. Gilmore, I see it kind of challenging. No, you don't. Look at this. First off, I noticed this is stained one color and this is another color. So therefore, I can see the basement membrane. If that's the basement membrane, then I notice there's multiple layers going up to the free edge, because this is on the inside of the organ. There's multiple layers. First thing I think when it says multiple layers, two more layers make it what? Stratified. Stratified. Now guess what I'm looking for? I'm looking to see whether or not it has a line or it doesn't have a line. That's all I'm looking for. See, I'm learning structures. Does it have a line? Nope. What line are you talking about? You wanna know what line I'm talking about? Okay, so Mr. Gilmore, you just said, here is my basement membrane. I got multiple layers, but then there's a line almost at the free edge. There's a line. Y'all see that? That's my dead giveaway. My man. Keratin is the waterproofing agent for our skin. This also is a giveaway. Because Mr. Gilmore, that's when you stretch your hair, that stuff fall out. Called dandruff. That's another giveaway. You got to know what you're looking for to make sure you can't get this wrong. So Mr. Gilmore, when I see this flaky pie crust stuff, I know I'm dealing with dandruff. So Mr. Gilmore, this has to be what? Stratified squamous epithelium, keratinized. Why? Because I see this keratin at the free edge border. This is what has waterproofed the skin. So Mr. Gilmore, only thing you want to ask me whether or not it's satisfied, I'm going to say the wrong thing, whether or not it is stratified squamous epithelium, keratinized or non-keratinized, and what organ am I looking at? So Mr. Gilmore, when I see this, it has keratin, I'm looking at the what? Scalp. Mr. Gilmore, if I don't see the keratin, but I still got multiple layers. Bless you. If I don't see the keratin, but I still got multiple layers. Y'all see that? Then I'm dealing with the what? VJJ. Everybody with it? Okay, I got the two, Mr. Gilmore. I got that straight. So now we get to what? The muscle. We done made it through the biggest hurdle. We done made it through the biggest hurdle. The first fella is skeleton, then cardiac, then smooth. Believe it or not, we done made it through the biggest hurdle. Okay, you're going to have to hallucinate with it because it's hard. Mr. Gilmore, first off, When I see these tire marks in the sand, just like we're driving the beach along the beach, Jeep along the beachfront, I see these alternating yellow and dark fibers. When I see that, that's my striations. That's the first thing. Then I notice, Mr. Gilmore, as I look at this muscle fiber, I notice there's more than one nucleus per muscle fiber. So you notice if I'm on this one, you got multiple. It's hard to see, but you see it a little bit. Mr. Gilmore, it is multinucleated. So that means that because I have striations, and because I have more than one nucleus per muscle fiber, this is what type of muscle? Skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle. I'm going to show you something that's going to make sure you can't get it wrong with cardiac. There's going to be one thing that's going to be passing the money. It's going to help us identify cardiac. Now, if that's skeletal muscle, someone asked me, well, how do you distinguish it from cardiac? That's a great question. How do you distinguish it from cardiac? And so that's exactly what we want to point out. My man said, well, how can I tell between that and cardiac? Here's the key thing you're looking for. This. And it's always a test question. Mr. Gilmore, I see the striations flowing this way. But then there's these lines that's going against the striations. Those lines that are going against the striations are called intercalated discs. That's my dead giveaway. That's where I know I'm looking at what? Cardiac. You follow me? So Mr. Gilmore, tell me what questions you can ask. I hate this because this is not going to stay in focus, draw, so I got to talk fast. If I see these lines flowing in this direction, those are striations. But if I see those lines going against it, those are intercalated discs. If I see those little focal points, we're going to call them nuclei, even though that ain't always true. Those could be nuclei, those could be mitochondria, because you don't have a ton of mitochondria in the heart, because what do we need? We need a lot of ATP. But for the sake of the test, they are nucleus. Everybody with it? If that's cardiac, then we're going to see how Michael Jackson play a role in this. Besides the nasal bone. This little fellow, when I see him under there, it's like somebody took somebody's hair and just laid it under the microscope. That's the first thing. But then I'm going to notice on that little single strand, Mr. Gilmore, ain't gonna be no striations. There's no striations, there's no intercalated disc, but then there's sometimes, and that's what I'm gonna always show you, it's gonna be one little dot. And that's gonna be the what? The nucleus. I know I'm dealing with who? Smooth muscle. When I see this, I know I'm dealing with smooth muscle. You follow me? Now, if that much is true, that's gonna get me to the last fellow that we need to know. This one, we didn't have to learn a whole lot of nervous tissue. We only had to learn one. And so because we only had to learn one, when I see this, I shouldn't even have any trouble whatsoever. Why should I have any trouble? That's the basic thing. Now, why should I have any trouble? Well, first off, these little dots up here are neuroglial cells. That's the first thing. But then these big old cells, Mr. Gilmore, these are giant multipolar neurons. So we got that understood. These are giant multipolar neurons. These are neuroglial cells. Now, once we've done that, we're going to investigate and look at one specifically. Let me try to find a good one. Now, Mr. Gilmore, on test, could you ask me the difference between an axon and dendrite? Nope. That's not a fair question. Now, we know that one of these has to be the axon, and then all the rest of them have to be dendrites. We know that. But if I ask you what's this focal point, what's that dot inside of here? That's the nucleolus. That's the nucleolus. But Mr. Gilmore, around that little dark focal point, there's a lighter one. That's the nucleus. So the nucleolus is inside of the nucleus. But Mr. Gilmore, what if I have the arrow right here? And I'm talking about what's this entire big structure? That's the soma or cell body. That's the soma, this entire structure here. That's the soma or the cell body. But most times, I will have the point at the end here. So I'm talking about the what? Nucleolus. Now, that much is true. The rest of this, you can't distinguish whether or not it's an axon or dendrite. Everybody with me? All right. So if I say, well, what's one of these dots out here? Neuroglial cells. And if I ask you, well, what's this large, what is this structure? If I ask you, what is this structure? That's the cell body or soma. But if I ask you, what is this cell? That's a giant multipolar neuron. That's what this cell is. Everybody with me? All right. So that gets me through the histology. If that gets me through the histology, next thing for me to know is the skull. Now, here's the issue. The skull is rather fresh on my mind. So I'm going to hit the big pieces. I ain't going to hit everything. The skull is rather fresh on my mind. If I'm looking at the skull, no problem, thank you. If I'm looking at the skull, the first thing I want to look at is the mandible. I'm looking at the mandible. Now the mandible and this is going to be more of an interactive thing. always find the bones to be more better on the students when it's interactive more. So, Mr. Gilmore, you gonna point, and we gonna tell you. But you gonna say areolar process of who? Of the mandible. Mental foramen. Mandibular foramen. Mandibular condyle. Condyloid process. Condyloid. Why are you emphasizing the L? Because you don't want to confuse it with this. Coronoid process. So the neck of it is condyloid, but this little sharp part is the coronoid. What about this? Mandibular notch. Y'all been studying. This is good. This is angle. That's the ramus. Now, here's the catch. Y'all got this, though. That's the body. Mr. Gilmore, that's just the mandible. Believe it or not, look, we started off on a good foot. This is good. Yeah. I'm talking about. I started off on a good foot. I might should have a contest with my all right, I'm gonna point you tell because y'all doing so good. Perpendicular plane. I see that. Anterior nasal spine. I see that. Nasal concha. I heard that. Supraorbital fissure. Good job. Supraorbital foramen. Infraorbital margin. Glabella. Good. Nasal bone. Now watch this curveball come in. Oh, shucking. Y'all ain't playing. All right. I'm going to see if y'all really good. Oh, all right. Y'all getting it from there? That's a good look. That's a good look. Blow me down and call me stupid. All right. Y'all been studying. Most folks don't listen to me until after this review.
Those folks aren't here, probably.
Good point. Yeah, y'all ain't playing. Y'all like, look, we for real, we took the hint. You know what? I shouldn't use this one. Now, after I went off, I went off, man. Because you know I'm real crazy. After I went off, I told them don't touch my stuff, don't come to my lab, taking them out of here. The reason I have these two skulls up here is because one of them is color coded and it makes it easier for me to present the stuff. The other one has all the markings on it, right? I picked these skulls out purposely and I leave them up there. That means don't touch them. They ain't came back and bothered nothing else. But they like, this boy, you're crazy. Yeah, because see, I need my stuff to teach with. I don't bother nobody else's stuff. Because I know it'll be something. He came to my lab. Don't come in my lab. We straight. All right, let's play. Okay. Watch this then. Anterior clinoid process. Good job, Pimpin. Occipital tertium. Watch this right here. Optic foramen. How do I know? It's always going to be medial to the anterior clinoid process. Good job. Watch this right here. Lesser wing. What's up? Lesser wing. Let's see if you get this here. Ovalid. Okay. What's this here? Lacerum. Oh, shucks. Oh, I bet you'll get this here. Jugular. What's up? Somebody been studying, all right? Fossa for the who? Cerebellum. Okay. All right. Now watch this right here. Peaches portion of the temporal bone. All right. Now watch this right here. What if I put a little toothpick right here? Gotcha. All right. I got a trick for you. Right here. That's exactly right.
What is it? Carotid.
You studied last night. I thought you was up there last night. Alright. You got me kind of crumb. Alright. Shoot.
So our test shouldn't be that bad to grade.
Huh?
Our test shouldn't be that bad to grade today.
I hope not. See, but watch this right here. It's always like this. There's going to be people who knock the test right out of the park. And then there's going to be people who write their name on it and walk out. Because they thought the test was going to be a pushover or I can guess up on the answer. It happens every semester. And it hurts my class averages. Y'all ain't gonna believe it until you see it. And this semester, I'm gonna put them on blast. I asked them to study about 20 times. What's it? Oh, shucking. Median palatine suture, that makes sense? Transverse palatine suture. Well, what's this right here? Palatine bone. Good. What's this? Volar. Oh, shucking. She be quiet, but she be knowing what she doing. All right. What's this structure right here? Pterygoid. I heard it behind me. Yeah. Well, let me see if you know them from the bottom then. Starting from the bottom, now we here. Who? Well, who you say? Lacerum. So she got lacerum right. Let's see if you know this one. Oh, Valley. Look at this boy. You came up to 6 shooters. All right, you got to know him. Now watch this right here. Let me see if we can get this right. Carotid. Let me tell you how you can tell carotid from the jugular. The jugular is larger. So if you look right here, you compare him to him. Now watch this right here. What's his name? What's his name? Good. What's his name? So what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? So what's him? Stalo, Masto, Foramen. Good. Now watch this right here. What's this fellow right here? I bet most of y'all ain't gonna get this. Y'all studied, man. Y'all studied. Y'all studied. What's this? Fossa for the cerebrum. If that's fossa for the cerebrum, I'm gonna do it in the dog. See if you gonna get it. Let's see. Suture. 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 Suture.
Squamosal.
Squamosal. Good. Bone.
Parietal.
Bone.
Occipital.
Bone.
Frontal.
Bone.
Temporal.
You're doing good. Bump.
External occipital protuberance.
Occipital protuberance. Good. 2 bumps. Occipital come down. I got something for you though. I point, you tell.
Temporal process of the zygomatic bone.
So what they're doing for the rest of us that's on this little short bus, because it seems like somebody been studying, which is good. I got to name this bone first in my head. So when I name this bone, this is the zygomatic bone. So if this is the zygomatic bone, I know this is the temporal process of the zygomatic bone. You follow me? Name the bone first, because they already got it. Look, this whole side of it, they've been studying. You know, they got it. You can tell. They feel good, chest out, everything. Yeah, they got it. All right, so let me ask you this here. What's this?
Styloid.
If there's a styloid that makes this?
Mass.
Good. So what's this? External auditory meatus. Good. What's this? Squamosal suture. Good. So if that's squamosal, then what's this one going back that way?
Lamboidal suture.
Lamboidal. That'll work with it. What's this one?
Coronal
Coronal
suture.
or frontal. If that much is true, I got a question for you.
Temporal bone of zygomatic process.
So that's the temporal bone.
Zygomatic process of the temporal
The
bone.
temporal bone. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. I'm with 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 it. I got something for you. Hail Mary, come with me. Y'all on y'all stuff, man. See, I knew that stove was gonna be hot, but y'all been putting in with that. And believe it or not, after the test, it's gonna be stove. So that should be your, hey, you hit the batting average, you hit 1,000. All they keep hearing is, that's all they keep hearing. Man, I felt like this was the lightning round. I know I should have good grades on that, man. What's this? Iowa. What's this end called? Head of what? What's this called? What's this bump called? If the bump is the costa tubercle, what is the flat edge?
The coastal.
Costa facet. All right, I'm with it. I feel you. So let me ask you this, since y'all know, y'all doing your thing. All right, what's this fellow here called? Centrum, aka the vertebral body. If that much is true, what's this? If that's pedicle, what's this? Lamina, then what's this? Spinous process, then what's this? All right, that much is true. What's this? Zygomatic process, what's this? Manubrium, that makes this the gladiatorial body. Y'all ain't playing. What are these called? Sacroforaminal. Then what's this? That medial sacral crest, that makes this. Mouth lateral sacral crest. Then what's gonna be these little dots at the bottom? Sacral cornea. So what if I put a little toothpick under here? That's what the sacral hiatus. Good. That's all I want to do with you. What is this thing right here?
Super articular.
Superior articular facet. Good job, Kevin. What about this?
Are you talking about the process or is it?
if I said, what was this first, and you gave me superior articulated facet,
Superior articular process.
there you go. Now what about this one?
Superior articular process.
Inferior articulate, see, this gives students problems, and this is good. You get it wrong now so you can learn it for the test. On the bottom, this is the inferior articulating facet, whereas this is the inferior articulating process. Everybody with it? Now, if I ask you, what's this on test, and I only have this bone by itself, what you gonna say? Interior, cause I ain't gonna say it on interior. Intervertebral notch. But Mr. Gilmore, what if you put a second vertebrae up here, and you ask me what's that?
A foramen.
Intervertebral foramen. So Mr. Gilmore, if it's a bone by itself, it's just a notch. But when there's another bone, it's a foramen. Everybody with it? If I ask you, what is this hole right here? That's the vertebral foramen. See, let me tell you something. Most students are gonna get this wrong. Because this is the vertebral foramen, whereas the one on the side is the intervertebral foramen. You follow me? There's a difference. Inter means in between two. So when you see intervertebral, that lets me know that's on the side. But when I look at this one, this is the vertebral foramen. Everybody with it? Believe it or not, I feel confident. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I like what I see. One thing I want you to do, don't get cocky. Here's what I'm gonna say. Continue doing what you're doing and study in sections. And then when you get through, quiz each other. Y'all follow me? Everybody sign a roll? All right, sit that around. Who plays you?
Zach. Dr. Zach?
Is that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. She said she was gonna tell our students.